one major source of illness, and I'm talking about any kind of illness, whether that's so-called mental illness or physical illness, and that's childhood trauma. This is from the journal Pediatrics, which is the official journal of the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the article appeared in their journal 6 years ago now, in February of 2012. And the article is from the Harvard Center on the Developing Child, and here's what they say in their abstract. Growing scientific evidence demonstrates that social and physical environments that threaten human development because of scarcity, stress, or instability can lead to short-term physiologic and psychological adjustments that are necessary for immediate survival and adaptation, but which may come at a significant cost to long-term outcomes in learning, behavior, health, and longevity. In other words, what they're saying is that the adaptations that children are forced to resort to in response to early stress help them endure that early duress and difficulty, but those same adaptations become a source of pathology later on, and they even threaten longevity. This article I quoted to you from Harvard wasn't published in some fly-by-night alternative publication. It was in a major medical journal. It's like makes no difference whatsoever. And that's why the research is just not incorporated into medical practice, despite the fact that it's been published and it's not even controversial. Well, now let's look at stress. Let's say that you're stressed about something, and you got high levels of cortisol and adrenaline in your system, and you're obsessing about some insult or a loss or something that perturbed you. You're in a high state of stress physiologically, but you're not alone, because a friend of yours sitting next to you says, "Hey, do you want to talk about it? I see that you're upset. Can we talk about it?" What happens to your stress levels? But what if you're isolated? Then you might go on for months stewing in your own stress juices. You got nobody to download it to. No wonder then the women who were stressed and isolated had a much higher risk of breast cancer, which tells us something, that cancer is not the disease of an individual. Cancer is the result of a biopsychosocial process reflecting your lifelong relationships. So there's the physiological, I've been telling you about the physiological stress response. The physiological stress response. But that's not all there is to stress. So stress is really a triad. There's three components to stress. One is the external stressor. That's whatever happens outside you. So that could be a threat, that could be the loss of someone, the loss of a job. So stress is external. Then there's the physiological stress response. Happens in the others. So stress then, there's the external stressor, there's the internal physiological response, and in between them, and this is what you've got to work with in your offices, is what we call the processing apparatus. And the processing apparatus is that person with their particular interpretations and their understandings and their beliefs.